Hello beautiful yogi, hope this finds you very well today. Coming to the middle of your mat and just rocking forwards and backwards and then side to side, finding the balance in the middle of your body today. So finding that nice spot where we can ground our feet into the ground and stretch up to the sky. So bring the hands up to the sky on the in-breath. On the exhale, bring your hands down to your waist. Stretch up to the sky on the inhale, and on the exhale bring the hands down again to the waist and stretch up on the inhale, just increasing the oxygen, and just stay there for a few moments, really pulling the fingers towards the sky and grounding your heels and the balls of your feet into the floor. Bring the hands together and just lean over to the side, having a nice stretch along the side of the body. Remembering to breathe, remembering to be stable on the feet. Come back up into the middle as hands are still high, and then stretch over to the other side. Depending on what day and what time of the day you're doing these stretches, you might be a little bit more limber. Coming up to the middle, hands stretch up to the sky. And then bring the hands to the kidneys. So at the back, bring the elbows together as much as you can. And then bring one ear down to the shoulder, stretching the side of the neck. Relax the shoulders. We're just bringing the ear towards the shoulder, not the shoulder towards the ear. And then swap over to the other side. Just supporting the lower back with the hands, fingers facing up. Having a nice stretch for the neck, and then coming up to the middle. Going to have a back bend here, so just gently pushing your belly forwards and gently lowering your neck back. Soft shoulders still, elbows come towards each other. Very stable, remembering your core, remembering your balance. Remembering to breathe. And then coming back up, engage your belly muscles as you come back up, soften the shoulders. Nice and slowly, and just start to roll forwards. The neck first, and then the upper back, middle back, lower back, and just have a nice hang forwards. You might like to hold your elbows. It gives a little bit more gravitational pull down towards the ground. I want you to have a really deep breath in here and lengthen your body. And as you breathe out, soften further down towards the ground. And a breath in, lengthen the spine. And a softening down towards the ground. It might be a millimeter. There might not be any change at all. But just using this technique to really soften the body. The knees aren't locked. A little bend in the knees, nice and soft, and just relax your hands down. If you need to, bend your knees, placing your hands underneath your feet and straightening the legs, bring the back up towards the sky. So the hands are underneath the feet, just stepping on your hands, and bring the back up towards the sky. It's a beautiful stretch. Remembering to breathe, and just release your hands out and fold forwards again. Nice and soft, nice and relaxed. Bring your hands to the mat and step both feet back into a downward facing dog. So spread the fingers out, and we're going to do a little bit of a running dog. So just bend one knee and push the opposite heel down towards the ground. And swap over. This isn't a running race. Nice and relaxed and beautiful stretch for the calf muscles and the Achilles. Remembering to have a soft neck here, let the head hang, and stretch right back into a beautiful downward facing dog. Heels come towards the floor, tailbone comes towards the sky. Press the fingers and the knuckles down. We're going to come down onto the knees now. Relax the feet down at the back. We're going to come into a Sphinx, so just gently bring your body down towards the mat, bending the elbows to the back of the mat, and stretch your hands out in front of you. Have a little back bend. So you'll see where I'm looking straight ahead. Try not to jut your chin out too much. It just puts too much pressure on the back of your neck, and we don't need any more pressure. So a nice back bend. This is the beginning stage, remembering to come back to this Sphinx pose if you don't want to do the next stage for the next poses. So bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders, push with the hands, come onto your knees and stretch back into a nice beautiful downward facing dog again. Really stretch it out, feel as though you're pushing the mat forwards with your hands and backwards with your feet. This is such a beautiful pose to do. Even if you have no spare moments in the day, you can do that downward facing dog. So again, coming down onto your knees, relax the toes. And gently bringing your whole body down towards the mat. Now I'm going to come into a cobra, so I'm pushing with my hands and I'm raising my chest and my shoulders, but you can come into the Sphinx if you want to. This is just a bit more of a back bend. And notice again that I'm looking straight ahead. Try not to jut that beautiful chin out. We're pushing forwards with the chest. Relax your bottom and just feel this beautiful stretch in the lower back. Relax the shoulders down. You've got a little bend in your elbows. And just breathe here. Another beautiful pose that you can do even when you're watching telly. This is a really nice one. Now just come back onto your knees, stretch your bottom back and tuck your toes, come into your downward facing dog. Stretching it all out. You find you're starting to get a little bit warmer. I'm going to take it to the next level, but if you'd like to keep your knees down, please do. Or remembering the Sphinx pose that we did before the Cobra pose. So I'm not bringing my knees down this time, but you can. So just straighten your body into a plank. And then we're going to bend our elbows to the back of the mat. So the elbows bend to the back of the mat and your whole body comes down. Very, very controlled. Relax the feet down, push the hands and come into a cobra or the Sphinx if you wanted to. I'm going to take this a little further, you can choose. I'm going to leave my torso where it is, tuck my toes and just lift my knees. Coming into an upward facing dog pose. Remember to breathe, remember to have nice soft shoulders. The chest comes forwards, the heart comes forwards, but the chin stays down. And relax your knees down if you have them up. And everybody stretching back into a lovely child's pose. What a beautiful pose child's pose is. I like to do my child's pose with my knees out to the sides and my feet together. It gives my belly the room to move when I'm breathing. There's a few variations you can try. But when we're here, let's try to relax our head. If your forehead doesn't touch the ground, bring our hands underneath your forehead so your neck can relax. If your arms are out in front, just relax your elbows, relax your hands. We don't need to stretch in this pose, we need to release. And bring your hands back and twist your feet around, come on up so your feet are in front of you. We're in a Dadasana pose. So a straight rod pose, stretching the hands up to the sky, big breath in. And as we breathe out, just fold forwards from the hips, like you would if you were standing up. Doesn't matter where you can touch. We're just trying to lengthen out the back of the spine. We're trying to soften the knees so we can stretch those beautiful hamstrings of yours and relax the neck completely. Are you clenching your jaw? Can you release your jaw so your whole body can soften and fold forwards? Do the breathing. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. Come on up on the in-breath, engaging your muscles to help you get up. We're bringing the hands behind our back with fingers facing forwards. Have nice straight arms and just lift the hips. Point the toes. Lift the hips. You can lift them higher than I'm doing now if you choose to. Or you can come down lower and not hold it for so long. Keep breathing. This is a strong pose. Now let's counteract that pose. Have a big breath in. Stretch the hands up to the sky. And fold forwards again. Let it all relax. Let it all go. Soft knees. A little bend in your knees. Relax the elbows. Lengthen on the inhale. Soften on the exhale. Just focus on the breathing. Yoga isn't about how far we can get, it's about challenging our own bodies to its own limits. And coming back up again, engage the belly muscles, bring the hands to the back once more. Just about a handspan away from your bottom. And lift your hips high. The fingers are facing forwards, the toes are pointed. Nice big breaths in. We keep the head high. There's no support for the neck if you let your head drop back. So just keep a nice strong neck here. Bring the bottom gently down towards the ground. And then bring one foot into the top thigh. Stretch the other leg out. And bring the forearm on top of the leg or down to the ground. Again, it doesn't matter where you can reach to. Stretch the opposite hand out. Open up the chest as much as you possibly can. Take a big breath in. Stretch the hand up to the sky and again, nice deep breaths in. This is such a beautiful stretch for the side of the body. And on the exhale, just fold over gently. Fold forwards. We're trying to keep the shoulders in alignment with each other. So we're trying not to let the top shoulder fold forwards too much. We'll be doing that in the next pose. But just try to keep the shoulders stacked on top of each other as they are now. And again, lengthen on the inhale and stretch and soften on the exhale. And just turn and face that outstretched leg. Lengthen the spine on the inhale and soften on the exhale. My hands are either side of my legs, or you can hold your foot. Entirely up to you. Lengthen on the inhale, soften on the exhale. If you know anybody that suffers from sciatica pain, this is the most delicious pose for them. It is absolutely bliss. Ask them to do the left side first and then the right side afterwards. And on your in-breath, coming on up. We're going to swap over, so just bring the foot in towards the thigh, stretch the other leg out. One side might be completely different from the other, it's perfectly okay. Bring your forearm to your shin or relax it down to the ground depending on your flexibility. Stretching the other hand out as far as you can. Open up your chest. Bring the hand up to the sky as much as you can. And then on the exhale, slowly, slowly come on down. Again, it doesn't matter where we can reach. What we are trying to do is keep the shoulders stacked. My top shoulder is actually rolling forwards a bit, so I don't normally watch myself. So that is something that I'm going to have to look at next time I do this pose. So ideally our shoulders will be stacked on top of the other. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. Sometimes our knees lock up when we do this pose, so just relax the knees and the thighs. Turn and face that outstretched leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine out. Exhale, soften down towards that leg. Bringing the arms either side of the leg. Either resting your hands on the ground or resting your hands around your foot or your toe. Again, relax the thighs. They like to tighten up. Completely relax. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. And when we come up, we'd like you to engage your belly muscles and then gently roll your spine all the way up. Beautiful. Stretching your legs out in front. And just finding a nice position where you're stretching your legs. Got a nice tall spine. And what we were doing there is we're actually measuring ourselves against the wall. So we're going to turn around and we're going to place our heels against the wall and come into quite a high downward facing dog. And then we're going to stretch one leg up the wall. So you might like to stop the movie and just have a little play around with this one. See where your hands need to be, see where your feet need to be. A nice stretch with one leg up the wall. And just bring that leg down. And then bringing the other side up. It's okay if they feel different. Most of us have a dominant side. So a very high downward facing dog to start with, heels against the wall. And then stretch the leg up towards the sky. Resting your shin or knee or foot on the wall. And bring it back down again. Stretch your hands out a little. Coming into not so much of a high downward facing dog. And what we're going to do now is we're going to bring both feet to the wall and try to come into an L position. This is a very strong position. I'd like you to remember to breathe. And then come on down. Relax for a few moments in child's pose. So when we're here, we need to start listening to what's going on inside our minds. This next pose is actually easier than that pose we just did. Doesn't look it, but I'd like you to have a go if you're feeling safe today. So one leg up the wall, two legs up the wall, take one leg off the wall, and come into a beautiful preparation for a handstand. Bring that leg on the wall again and swap over. Remember to breathe, my love. It's very, very important. Very important to breathe, friends. I'm looking down at the mat to keep the balance. And bring the feet back down onto the floor and rest back in child's pose. And I'm in child's pose and I've been doing quite a lot of balancing on my hands. I really like to bring my hands around and touch my feet. It's very grounding for the feet and the hands. It's very comforting. You might like to give it a go sometime. So just relaxing the shoulders, relax the head. And again, stretch the hands out in front. Come onto your knees. Stretch up into a downward facing dog. Not quite sure why I'm trying to move my jumper because it's just going to fall down anyway. But it was quite cold when I was filming. Stretch the right leg forwards and then come up all the way up with the legs spread right out along the mat. Bring one foot forward so the feet and the toes are facing forwards and the other foot comes to a 45-degree angle. Breathe in and lengthen over that outstretched leg. Nice straight spine to start with. And then soften as far down as you can. And just as we did with the other stretches, we try not to lock our leg. Have a nice relaxed knee. Your hands may not reach the ground, that's okay. I want you to breathe in and lengthen. I want you to breathe out and soften. Soften the thighs. Breathe in and lengthen. Breathe out and soften. And engage your belly. Have a nice straight spine again as you breathe in. Rest your hands on your legs. Don't put too much pressure on your knee though. And then coming on up and swapping over. So the other foot comes straight, the back foot comes to a 45-degree angle, the heel coming out, the toes coming in. Look over that outstretched leg, have a big breath in and come down halfway. So your back is straight. Lengthen on the in-breath, exhale and come all the way down as much as you can. I'm sure you can feel why this is called intense side stretch. So allow your muscles to stretch by giving it the most amount of oxygen you can. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, soften. Breathe in, lengthen, soften the knees. Breathe out, soften the spine, relax the neck. As you breathe in, come up halfway again. Nice straight spine. Place your hands on your legs. On your next breath in, come all the way up and come into the middle. Bring the feet so they're facing forwards and stretch them out as much as you can. Bring the hands to the hips. On an in-breath, bring your body forwards, so nice straight back to start with. So your torso is parallel to the floor. You may want to stay here, or you may like to bring your hands down to the floor or down to some blocks. On an in-breath, lengthen the spine. On an exhale, fold forwards, bending the elbows towards the back. So you may like to come down onto your forearms. You may like to place the crown of your head on the floor and bring your hands through your legs, placing the palms of the hands on the floor. Breathe in and lengthen. Breathe out and soften. Unlock your knees. Soften your thighs. Soften your jaw. Are you clenching your jaw again? And then just bring the hands back to where they were. Bringing the back up on the inhale, nice and straight. Again, you might want to be on the blocks. Bring the hands to the hips on the inhale, straighten the back again. Engage the belly muscles, come all the way up. You might want to roll your shoulders. Gently bring the feet together and find your balance again. That was a beautiful stretch. We're going to balance ourselves. Bring one foot out to the side. You might want to rest here on your toes and bring the knee right out to the side. Or you might like to bring the foot up to the calf muscle, or you might like to bring the foot up to the thigh. I ask that you don't press onto your knee with your foot. Stretch up to the sky with your hands, or keep your hands at your waist, whatever you choose. Find your balance in this beautiful tree pose. Looking at a point in front of you that's not moving, and trying to keep your mind calm and focused. Bringing the hands down to the waist on the exhale, relax your foot down and just roll the other ankle out. Just puts a bit of pressure on the other ankle. I've got dodgy ankles, so I'll need to do that all the time. And coming into your tree pose on the other side. So again, you might like to balance with your foot on the ground, knee out to the side. You might like to balance with your knee on your calf. Or you might like to balance with your foot onto your thigh. Find your balance again. Core of the body engaged. Stretch the hands up to the sky if you choose. Soften the shoulders down, they don't need to be high. Nice relaxed breathing, focus. And on your exhale, bringing the hands down, and then the foot comes down. I try not to talk too much in those poses because I'd like you to focus. And twist and wiggle the other ankle around. Coming to sit down, we're going to come with legs up the wall. So just bring your bottom up onto the skirting board and swing your legs so they're up the wall and your back is on the ground. Just going to rest here for a few moments. We need to allow our back and our spine to recover from the downward facing dogs and the inverted positions that we've been doing. If your hamstrings are really, really tight, you can bring your feet, the soles of the feet together and the knees out to the sides. So we're just going to spend a few moments here. You can either stay here for your Savasana, or you can come off and bring the legs relaxed on the mat. So keeping the legs bent or stretching them up to the sky. I'd like you to really choose what's best for your own body, taking control of your own health and your own yoga practice. Doing what's best for you, not me, not the person you see on the magazine. What's doing the best for you. So relaxing the body as much as you can. Soften the shoulders, lengthen the back of the neck, soften the face, unclench the jaw. You might like to lick your lips and relax your tongue. Completely soften all of the muscles around your eyes. Allow your eyes to close. Relax the muscles in between your eyebrows and your forehead. And feel the back of your head becoming quite heavy, quite relaxed. As you feel your shoulders starting to become heavier, open up the chest. Feel the movement of the flow of the prana, the air, the energy coming into the chest. Feel the ribs move at the front of the body, at the back of the body, at the sides of the body. Feel the gentle movement of the belly rise on the inhale. The belly relaxes on the exhale. On your next exhale, relax the lower back towards the ground more, lengthening the spine. Allowing your body to take in the beautiful strength and stretching poses that we have done today. Allowing your mind to clear, preparing yourself for the rest of the week or the rest of the day. giving yourself this time. If you find your thoughts coming off the mat, just coming back to the present moment, using the breath as your anchor. Bringing your thoughts back to your breath. Inhale, the belly rises. Exhale, the belly softens. Inhale, the belly rises. Exhale, the belly softens. As you do this, notice that the muscles in your back start to relax even more. The muscles in your face relax, they smooth out, they rejuvenate. And just coming off the wall, bringing the knees together and rolling to both knees to the side, stretching your opposite hand out and looking towards your opposite hand, having a nice twist of the spine here. Just releasing any tension out of the spine. And then coming over to the other side, knees together. Opposite hand stretches out. Look towards the opposite hand, so you're stretching the whole of the spine all the way up to the neck. Please stay in these relaxation poses for as long as you like. And when you're ready, rolling to the side, coming on up and spending some time in gratitude. Namaste.